High above the waters of Weymouth Bay, on a headland of Portland stone, stands a fortress that has guarded this coast for more than 150 years. This is Nothe Fort, a stronghold built in a time of fear, reshaped through 2 world wars and repurposed during the nuclear age. In the mid-19th century, Britain was on edge. Across the Channel, Emperor Napoleon III was expanding his navy, and there were real fears of invasion. The government responded with a vast building programme of coastal defences. Nothe Fort was part of that plan. Construction began in the 1860s, and by 1872 the fort was complete, a massive D-shaped bastion of Portland stone, surrounded by thick earthen banks designed to absorb enemy fire. Its commanding position gave it clear views across both Weymouth and Portland Harbour, a crucial naval anchorage. The first men stationed here were the No. 2 Battery of the Royal Artillery. Their duty was to install and man the fort's original weapons: 2 64-pounder cannons, 4 9-inch rifled muzzle loaders, and 6 10-inch cannons. These were powerful weapons for their time, capable of hurling massive iron shells against any enemy fleet that dared to enter the bay. But military technology changed rapidly. In the 1890s, 7 of the guns were upgraded to huge 12.5-inch rifled muzzle loading guns, some of the heaviest ever mounted in Victorian forts. These monsters could fire shells weighing more than 800 pounds. Yet even they were soon overtaken by new designs. By the early 20th century, rifled muzzle loaders were outdated. They were removed and replaced with 3 6-inch Mark 7 breech-loading naval guns on the ramparts, each able to launch a 100-pound shell with speed and deadly accuracy. To move the ammunition from the deep underground magazines up to the gun positions, the army installed a system of hoists, an innovation that connected the hidden world below ground to the open batteries above. At its height, Nothe Fort could mount as many as 70 guns, though not all were ever in use at the same time. Beneath the surface lay a warren of magazines, storerooms and passageways. Nothe Fort's strength lay in deterrence, the silent threat of overwhelming firepower. But with the coming of the 20th century, the world of war was changing. Ships became faster, their guns longer ranged, and new dangers appeared from the air. When the Second World War broke out in 1939, Nothe Fort was modernised once again. The great Victorian cannons were gone, replaced by anti-aircraft guns, searchlights and observation posts. Portland Harbour became a vital Royal Navy base, bristling with warships and supply vessels. From these waters, Allied convoys later sailed south to take part in the D-Day landings of 1944. Throughout the war, soldiers stationed here scanned the skies for enemy aircrafts and the seas for U-boats, knowing that Portland was a prime target for German attack. The fort may not have seen direct combat, but it played its part as a guardian of the coast during Britain's darkest hours. After the war, Nothe Fort's guns were removed for good. The soldiers departed, and the fortress fell silent. By the 1950s and 60s, it was overgrown, abandoned, and even considered for demolition. But in 1961, a turning point came when the local borough council bought the fort from the Ministry of Defence, preventing it from being lost forever. For a while, it remained little more than a hollow shell, and received its fair share of vandalism. But a new threat gave the fort a new purpose. During the tense years of the Cold War, part of Nothe Fort was converted into a nuclear bunker and emergency control centre. Reinforced rooms were built, fitted with communication equipment, maps and monitoring stations, ready to serve as a command post in the event of a nuclear attack. Thankfully, the bunker was never needed, but even today, stepping into those rooms sends a shiver down the spine, just thinking how bad things almost became. The Weymouth Civic Society took over responsibility for the fort through a lease with the Borough Council, allowing restoration work to begin. Volunteers came together to restore it, forming what would become the Friends of Nothe Fort. Through years of hard work, they cleared the overgrown ramparts, repaired the tunnels, and transformed the fortress into a museum, which is open for visitors to explore. But history is not the only presence said to linger here. Nothe Fort has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted places in Dorset. Among the most famous tales is that of the whistling gunner, a ghostly soldier whose tune is heard drifting through the passageways when no one is there. Others claim to have seen a pale figure pacing the ramparts, or to have felt a sudden chill and the brush of unseen hands in the underground tunnels. Thanks for joining us today exploring Nothe Fort. Please do give the video a like and consider subscribing, and I hope to see you again on an adventure very soon.